What's good everyone, it's Smudgy here, and today we're going to talk about Exfiltration Trios, the new game mode. It dropped this week. I've spent a fair bit of time in there now. I'm just kind of seeing how the game works, seeing how people play it, just getting a feel for the general mode, because one, I think it's a fantastic game mode. I think it's a fantastic game mode if you're looking for far quicker Warzone matches without wanting to go into like Rebirth Island. I think it's a fantastic game mode in terms of warming up. It's nowhere near as sweaty. I don't know if it's just less players play it maybe, so skill-based matchmaking can't really cherry pick who they want to put you with, but it's nowhere near as sweaty. You know, the kills in there often at times you feel like you're playing against bots, and so I just thought I'd kind of run through some of the best tips to really set you ahead of the competition in that mode, and also that any wins in this game mode count towards your win percentage in your Warzone stats. So if your win percentages aren't as good as you'd like them to be, like mine are, this is a fantastic way just to kind of farm a few wins and really boost that percentage up and make it seem a little less embarrassing. So let's jump into it. And so the general premise of Exfiltration Trios, if you don't know, is that a radio drops after I think it's 5 minutes into the game, and you have to hold on to that until the timer runs out and you win the game. Alternatively, you can just win the game by killing everyone, like the normal Warzone rules do apply. So that's the general premise. It's a super simple game. You kind of get like a area about where the radio will drop at the start of the game, and once you pick up the radio you have a constant marker on you. It's not like the Most Wanted where it refreshes every few seconds. That marker constantly moves, so you best be on your toes. And that brings me on to the first tip: is do not pick up this radio at the start of the game. Just don't. It is like instant death to pick up that radio right there and then. I'd definitely recommend kind of waiting until the final minute to pick it up, because every time that radio drops the timer pauses. If the person with the radio is downed, the timer pauses, so time can pass fairly slowly in terms of that 5 minutes you need to hold on to it for. But if you can snag it in that final minute, that final 45 seconds, it's far easier to stay alive. And so that kind of leads quite nicely into the second tip, which is land far away from that radio drop site. Like, land on the edges. Downtown always seems to be a fantastic place to land in this game mode, ironically. Grab the helis that are in downtown, grab the helis that are in stadium, and just drive them around doing your scavs. You can pick up a Most Wanted and literally no one will push you. Get that loadout really nice and quickly, really early on, and you can just fly around the map killing people, or you can camp the radio and you pick off people that way as they rush in to get it and then just swoop in at the end. It's a really nice kind of almost chilled out game mode, where you don't feel quite as tense as you would in a Warzone match. So make sure you loot up early and stay away from the initial radio drop site. That's like the biggest tip I can give everyone. If the fight for the radio is proving kind of quite fierce and you're just getting ripped apart every time you step within 20 meters of it, or you're seeing teams just getting demolished as they all fight over it and no one's really holding on to it for a long time, just back off. Get yourself in some good positioning for when the zone moves, when the zone rotates, and that's easy picks for you. People are so focused on the radio carriers, they often forget to rotate as it's a normal Warzone match, and you can just pick people off super easy. You can pick off the radio carrier, and it doesn't matter if the radio actually gets left in the gas, because it just redeploys, and the chances are if you're already pushed into zone and already positioned quite well, you can have a far better chance of kind of grabbing it first, or at least putting yourself in a position where you can kill anyone that does try to grab it. And it makes things easier. I think a lot of people in this game mode, and that's why it's so easy to get kills, is they forget that it still applies to the normal rules of Warzone. And it's a strange one, because I would have thought people would have realised as the games have gone on, but I played a mixture of between this and Rebirth Island exclusively since the playlist update dropped, and I've not seen any changes in behaviour, so that's something to bear in mind. Alternatively, I did mention this at the start, if the radio really is being a pain to try and grab hold of, just play out the game normally. You can pretty much kill everyone fairly easily, especially with good positioning. It's pretty easy to play out the game completely regularly and get a pretty easy win. I wouldn't really stress too much about the radio, unless of course there is only kind of like 20 seconds left till exfiltration and you're nowhere near, then good luck to you. But in all seriousness, if that radio is just a death trap, there's no point going for it. Like, the timer will just stop on the exfiltration when the radio's not picked up, so there's nothing to worry about in terms of the game ending. You can just play your life and make it to the final, and then you'll just exfil out completely normally as if you won a normal Warzone match. And with that being said, that is where I'm going to leave it today. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you want to find your way back. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.